we're gonna start off amusing. Because we're gonna start off with AC. Okay. We're gonna start off with AC, talking about, I guess they've changed the rules for basic training, how drill sergeants can operate. This is what Zelenia watched. So if I'm gonna watch her video, I should probably react to AC before she posts her video so I can enjoy it and not spoil myself. This should be good because we all know that one of Rich's biggest bitches is that he can't actually do what needs to be done as a drill sergeant. So I'm intrigued. I am curious. Let's take a look.
Is it me or is basic training getting weaker? My drill sergeant sense is tingling, but that can only mean one thing. Basic training units are making drill sergeants weaker by telling them they can't swear or toss barracks. Looks like I'm gonna have to balance check basic training and bypass all these bullshit rules.
I gotta ask, how fucking old is this uniform, Rich? How old is this? When did you pick up these BDOs? Seriously, these are like 1990s, early 2000s videos. Oh my. Yeah, I'm wondering if these are Rich's videos when he was first in.
I'm gonna have to balance check basic training and bypass all these bullshit rules. Memos for this, memos for that. So many memos at the Secretary of Defense. Pete.
Well, I mean, 80s, yes, but this style, this woodland camo BDU style, was all the way up through the 90s and into the 2000s. I don't think they went digital until mid 2000s, I believe. Yeah, it was like mid late 2000s when they finally switched digital, and they had the normal woodland camo all the way up until that point.
For this, memos for that. So many memos at the Secretary of Defense. Pete Hegseth had to get involved and say no, slamming people's in the toilet seat and saying no more of these stupid freaking rules. Oh, but drill sergeant, what are these dumb rules? I will show you the way, young private. One of them is there's no swearing anymore. Drill sergeants.
The usage of profanity, vulgar language, rude gestures, or remarks are strictly prohibited while operating in official capacities during duty hours. Such language does not align with the Army's core values and undermines the integrities of our soldiers and our formations, therefore will not be tolerated in the 43rd Reception Battalion. Yeah, we heard about this when it first popped off, didn't we? Which begs the question. The LT or captain or...
Lizard. The
fuck?
Lizard.
What the fuck? What was that? That was a new one. Okay. No, Zeb, I think it just appeared there. I never put it there. So yeah, the lieutenant or captain or colonel or major or LT colonel, like, clearly they've never had experience in the field. If they're gonna say profanity, vulgar language, and rude gestures or remarks are not in line with Army's values. Like, gamer, have you seen the front lines? Have you actually spent time with soldiers that are on the line, that have been in combat, that are some of the best of the best? Have you ever actually spoken to any of them? I'm guessing you haven't. This guy, the person who made this probably, like, majored in pop psychology in college.
aren't supposed to swear because it makes them seem unprofessional. Yeah, okay. Get the fuck over here, guy. Yeah, did that seem unprofessional or did it seem scary? Like I added a little bit of pizzazz. We'll break that one down in just a moment. Or how about another memo that says no more tossing barracks drill sergeants? We're supposed to be the privates' friends. And how can we befriend them and hug them and give them smooches if we're throwing their barracks?
Oh my God, I just said this about parents. This is just like parents. Trainees don't need a friend. They need a drill sergeant to kick their ass. So that way, if they do get into combat or they get into a combat situation, they're not instantly pissing themselves because they don't know how to deal with high stress situations. That is the entire purpose of basic training, to stress you. It is umpteen weeks, depending on if it's strictly basic training or if your basic and the AIT is all combined, or if it's AIT and you have combined, that the whole purpose of this is to stress you. That is the entire purpose, to numb you to being stressed so you know how to operate if you are into a high stress scenario. That is the entire purpose of basic training, is to teach you what you need to do, teach you what you need to know as a soldier, and also stress the living fuck out of you. So if you are forced to engage in combat and you are stressed, you don't just shut down. You don't just suddenly go blank, shut down, and just curl up in a ball and start crying. Because you've been stressed out. You know how to deal with your body's stress reactions. So you are able to continue to function as a soldier and actually engage in the fight.
All around because you're undisciplined little pieces of shit that don't know how to keep their gosh dang house clean. But thank God, the military's guardian angel, SecDef Pete Hegseth, stepped in and said, no more of this bullshit. But enough of me chattering, let's get down to business and break down these stupid fucking memos. Memorandum for all company personnel subject.
Yep.
Policy letter number 8, profanity free campus. Oh, we live on a campus now. I forgot. We are in college. These are
Because, of course, they want to turn basic training into a modern American college campus. That place, that fine institution that has things like safe spaces. And, it is all about, not teaching you freedom of speech and actually restraining speech unless you're protesting for just the right country that is not the United States, and therefore that you're all in. But if it's something about Go America, no, you actually can't say that. And college is the last goddamn thing you want basic training to be turned into.
for college students meant to be coddled and swayed back and forth to sleep and not hear any bad words that they haven't already heard on television, YouTube, their gosh dang Japanese anime, tentacle porn shit.
That's my jam. Although I will admit, I'm not too much into the tentacles overly much. The tentacles can be fun. Tentacle hentai can be fun.
What the f*** is that?
Point exactly, Colonel. Yeah, I'm not so... Tentacles can be fun. Tentacles can be fun. They're not my go-to, though. They're certainly not my go-to. I prefer more traditional restraints. That's just me. That's just me. But tentacles still can be fun. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
The usage of profanity, vulgar language, rude gestures, or remarks are strictly prohibited while operating in official capacities during duty hours. Vulgar language? Well, f*** me. Rude gestures? Well, you can f*** off. Such language does not align with the Army's core...
Hang on. Me too. Me too. Army, fuck off. With that bullshit.
values that undermines the integrity of our soldiers and our formations. Therefore, it will not be tolerated in the 43rd Reception Battalion. Oh, you're gonna tolerate it. You're gonna tolerate the shit out of it. You know what? I'm gonna read this the way that it sounds to me. Restrictions. Vulgar or disparaging language will not be utilized during meetings, briefings, training exercises, while addressing superiors, peers, or trainees. Vulgar or offensive language will not be displayed on any piece of clothing or personal effects at any time within the battalion footprint.
Again, did the person who wrote this memo even ever talk to any real Army in their lives? They literally call one another asshole, motherfucker, pussy, cunt, slut, bitch, cock gobbler, and everything else as terms of affection. Okay, they literally rip each other apart as terms of endearment. That's how you build camaraderie. That's literally how camaraderie is built in the field. You know, somewhere that whoever wrote this memo has never been in their life. I really want to know how fresh the ink is on their pop psychology diploma. Because I guarantee whoever wrote this basically specialized in like psychology or some bullshit in college, and that's how they earned their commission.
Does this guy know we go to war? Is this dummy who wrote this stupid fucking memo that we're barely even halfway through? Does he know what the Army does? We got battalion mottos like kill 'em all. Isn't that vulgar? Isn't killing your enemy vulgar, sir? Maybe we're supposed to be a little vulgar. Maybe we're supposed to be a little crude. Maybe you're supposed to be a little crass and offensive because the shit that we do is offensive. It's supposed to be. You think lighting people up from a minigun inside a UH-60 Blackhawk is supposed to be friendly and kind? These aren't real bullets that kill, they're friendship seeds. Look as they sprout amongst all the men down there.
I'm loving the Bob Ross fro, AC. Rich, if you don't buy a wig like this and wear it on stage at least one of the unsub live events you have coming up, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. Chat, we need to make this happen. We need to make Rich buy a Bob Ross wig, just like this, and force him to wear it on at least one of the unsub shows. At least one. I think they're doing like 5 or 6, maybe 7 unsub shows across the country. I know at least 2 of you strays are going to one each. I don't know if we need to add him on Twitter or something. She needs to wear one of these now. She has to. She has to wear a Bob Ross wig. It must be done.
They're laughing and giggling. Look as his arm, not vulgarly at all, falls from his body as he lies dead. Don't use vulgar language or swearing at peers. Oh, okay, so I can't be like, hey, Sergeant So-and-so, can you give me that f***ing thing over there with the stuff? Can you hurry the f*** up, please? I said please, sir. I said please. Get leader responsibility. It's up to all leaders to enforce this policy and create professional environment all soldiers are entitled to operate within as they complete their official duties. Oh, and this is my favorite part. 4-strike policy. This policy is punitive and can result in soldiers being issued a strike based off their behavior. What are we?
Okay, when did the Army turn into fucking YouTube? This is literally YouTube shit. This is literally what YouTube does. First strike, warning. Second strike, you get written up and you can't post for like 7 days. Third strike, and it's like you can't post for like a month. Fourth strike, you're done. Your channel gets nuked. Did the officer that wrote this up, did they used to work for YouTube? Did they Major or Lieutenant Colonel or who the fuck ever that wrote this up, did they used to work for YouTube? This would explain so fucking much right now.
Behavior. What are we in fucking baseball here? This is like a grown-ass man learning to kill shit and blow stuff up. And we got a 4-strike pass. A 4-strike. Tell me what the strikes are if I say some swears or something vulgar. Strike 1. On the spot verbal counseling. Hey, don't do that. Okay, whatever. I guess I'll stop until you leave. Strike 2, written counseling added to soldier's board file. What the is that gonna say? Drill Sergeant High said twice in a row one day, and therefore he should not be promoted because of the word said twice one time. Signed, Captain Pansy Ass. Strike 3, removal of favorable actions. What's so favorable? Your unit sounds like it fucking blows. You're gonna take away my leave because I said 3 times? Blah, 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 blah. Try that bullshit. When I throw that up the chain of command, hey, Battalion Commander Dickhead won't let me go on leave because I said 3 times. Try it. Try it. Oh, I would be your guy. I would be your guinea pig for this. Strike 4. Chapter 1412B, separation for misconduct based on a pattern of behavior. Holy.
They're literally talking about kicking someone out of the army because they said shit 4 times. Nick, separation basically means to get booted out of the army. That is what separation means. It means you get kicked out of the army for saying shit, fuck, piss, cum guzzler, whatever. 4 times. Yeah. No, Hunter, I don't think it would not be a dishonorable. I think it would be a general. I don't think you would actually receive for a 1412B. I don't think it would be dishonorable discharge. I suspect it would be general discharge. I have a feeling if they tried to do a dishonorable discharge based on this because you swore 4 times, I imagine that probably would be a JAG scenario. I imagine someone would go to JAG if they tried to dishonorably discharge someone because they swore a few times and then they chapter them out and they tried to do it as dishonorable. I imagine someone would probably go to JAG and slike that in through the UC on JAG. And yes, this should be pointed out. This is not Army policy. Okay? Well, what Rich is talking about here, this is not Army-wide. This is for this one reception division. A singular reception division is doing this. This is not the Army at large. Okay? Just bear that in mind.
You're telling me if I say shit 4 times for one more good measure, you're gonna chapter me out of the military because I swore? I said shit 4 times, and now therefore I'm so undisciplined I have to be kicked out of the military because I said shit 4 times? I can smell the non-deployment on this turd. Tell me you've never been overseas and actually had to deal with some stress or real life issues to make a fucking memo that says, well, I don't think they should swear anymore. Get It ends with, all soldiers, trainees, and employees deserve to be treated with dignity and respect when performing their duties or operating in the 43rd AG Battalion reception. The most productive work environment is one where employees and soldiers treat each other as they would like to be treated. All personnel, whether soldier, civilian, or employee, are entitled to be treated respectfully and courteously. Well, whoever wrote this memo, I don't respect you. You deserve 0 amounts of respect. Why? Because if I swear 4 times, you're gonna kick me out of the military. You see how fucking stupid that sounds? What kind of brain-dead dip doofus decided to write this and say, that's a good idea? Where's your fucking sergeant major? Where's your first sergeant? What? It says company. It says...
Hold up. Okay, Hunter, I do not know why the auto mod... I know why I classify as gibberish. When you said DD-214, you didn't put a dash between DD and 214, and it classified those as gibberish. Okay, that's probably why. Yeah, the Hunter, the AI mod tagged you for that. Don't worry, you didn't do anything wrong.
Where's your fucking sergeant major? Where's your first sergeant? What? It says company. It says company. All company personnel, so there's a first sergeant. There better be a fucking first sergeant there who looked over this memo and said, hey, sir, this is dumb. Well, I hope you don't post that memo right away, because me saying fucking dumb would have gotten me strike one, wouldn't it, sir? What a pussy. Swear words are making the military a not so good place to work. No, your incompetence is. Your idiocy is. And speaking of idiocy, let's get on to today's next contestant. Memo number 2. Now, the last one was from Fort Leonard Wood.
Oh, there's a second one. There's a second one. Oh, God help us. There is a second memo. I knew about this first memo. Well, I saw Rich talking about this with the boys on Kinda Consensual, so I knew about this first memo. I didn't know there was a second one.
Get on to today's next contestant. Memo number 2. Now, the last one was from Fort Leonard Wood, home of the engineers, and this one's from Fort Benning, home of the infantry. Infantry, a bunch of fucking babies. That's what this is run by. Let's break down what this brigade, I think, commander says. Subject, memorandum number 15, abuse of trainees, quote, bay tossing. Now, if you don't know what bay tossing is, that's when I instill a little bit of discipline into my troops because they don't...
Military strays. How many of you went through a tossing of the barracks? Eh? How many of you went through it? Yeah, this is quite the aftermath, I must say. That is quite the although who was it that said, hang on, Brevin, to your point about teaching you to lock stuff up, it looks like it didn't matter because if you'll notice right here, there's a pair of bolt cutters. So I'm thinking that locking shit up didn't matter during this particular one.
know how to clean their rooms. But it goes on into further detail a little bit later on in the memorandum. Let's go ahead and read on. Our mission is to provide competent, capable, and well-trained soldiers of good character ready to fight and win our nation's wars. There is no greater obstacle to the effectiveness of the IMT environment than the improper treatment of trainees. Abuse of trainees undermines the trust of the American public by violating Army values, disrupting military order and discipline, and destroying a positive training environment. Okay, that first paragraph makes sense. Don't abuse the trainees too much. Yeah. You have to train them. We don't want to just beat them mercilessly until they break and then leave them there as puddles of piss so that somebody else could be like, well, I guess we'll try to... No, we build them up. We tear them down, yes, but we build them up. But what does this brigade colonel think is abuse to trainees? The practice of bay tossing is strictly prohibited. Drill sergeants will not, quote, toss the bay, to include flipping mattresses, knocking over wall lockers, touching and or damaging trainees' personal items or equipment. Drill sergeants will not use bay tossing for any reason to include methods of corrective action.
It's part of the breaking them down to build them up again. Like, oh, Drill sergeants do this not because they find it fun. Okay, well, maybe they find it kind of fun, but they also do it for a reason to further enhance the building up of these trainees. Well, Revan, it not only teaches you that you aren't a civilian anymore, but it also teaches you discipline. As was said, like, if you lock your shit down, then the trolls aren't going to mess with it. And also, it's the military. Life is not all sunshine and rainbows in the military. In fact, getting your bay tossed so you have to clean it up is probably one of the least things that you can expect when you're in a combat zone. And again, this is to basically stress the trainees. What? Nice. Okay. The whole purpose behind this is, again, to stress your trainees so that when they hit a combat, when they, especially at especially at Benning, which is infantry, when they actually hit the field and they actually need to engage in combat, they are used to stress. They can handle stress. That is the purpose of basic training, is to stress the trainees and get them used to it so their body can adapt to it and overcome it. Kind of the mantra for just about every military branch, adapt and overcome. This is part of it.
So then, what do I do when the bay looks like shit? Huh? Tell me what I can do. Tell me what I can do. You're taking shit away from me, guy. So why don't you tell me what I can do when the bay looks like shit? When they don't want to put their wall lockers dress right dress. When they don't want to mop or f***ing sweep. When they don't want to take out the trash from the gosh dang latrines and there's stains on the inside of the toilet bowl. Huh? What do I do then? Do I just write negative counseling for them and say they didn't do anything? Well, off. You actually don't know what you're talking about because negative counselings don't mean dick, do they? You're gonna give like 30 of them for a trainee to get kicked out because of failure to adapt. Oh, you could just put down on paper a negative counseling. They're trainees. They don't even know what that means yet. They don't give a that you wrote down on a piece of paper that they suck. They need.
This is like the same thing with, we're going to put something in your file that you said shit. It's the same effect. The trainees are not going to care. The trainees are smart enough by now that they know that the quote-unquote permanent file that you write something nasty about, they're going to go, okay, and what the fuck do you think this is going to do to me? They will not care. This is why so many of the trainees that when they come in to these units do not fucking care. It's why they fuck around and you end up making dog shit soldiers because the drill sergeants can't actually create good soldiers. Like, it's worked for decades. For decades. The traditional way of doing drill sergeant stuff, with the exception of dragging a recruit out behind the building and literally beating the ever living shit out of him. I'm fine with them getting rid of that. You can't, as much as we would love to, you can't just literally dogpile a trainee and beat the ever living shit out of them. As much as I'm sure some of them would love to. But imparting the fear of God into a trainee, like tossing the barracks, what's the word? Oh my God, smoking the recruits, when they fuck up, all of this did wonders for building up the soldiers. It's why for so many decades, the U.S. military was considered the premier military one of the premier militaries in the world, is because they built hardened soldiers that would do their job and that they wouldn't get scared because they got swore at. And now with these two divisions or these two battalions, they're pussifying the troops. They're flat out pussifying the troops. What kind of soldiers do you think you're going to be creating by training soldiers to not be able to take bad language? By not being able to smoke them and make them realize, I screwed up something bad, I can't do that anymore. What kind of soldiers do you think you're going to be creating when you hamstring drill sergeant like this? You're going to be breeding soldiers that lose. These are not soldiers that you're going to want on the front lines. These are soldiers that will lose the battle.
Real consequences that they can deal with. And one of them is tossing the bay. We're 2 weeks into basic training. I've told them the standards and taught it to them numerous times. And yet, a third of the bunks are still f***ed up. They don't know how to make their beds correctly. I've got bloated laundry bags filled with smelling clothing that they didn't wash the night before like they're supposed to. And I do what with it? I do what? I take a little sticky note and I pin it to it and then I say, "Go, you need to clean this up better." Well, can't swear at them either because they need everybody here in basic training to be. There was one guy on Twitter, the buddy Command Sergeant Major, and his tweet got over 500,000 views and hundreds of comments, and everybody loved it. And do you know what it was? Do you want to know what it was, Colonel? It was hundreds of troops sharing how they got the shit smoked out of them and their barracks tossed and how they loved it. How they were proud to tell other people they had gone through the gauntlet, survived, had a strong amount of discipline instilled in them, and they carried on for their fantastic military careers. How everybody was braggadocious about who got it worse or who had a more interesting way of getting smoked.
Yes, that's it right there. What he just said right there. Getting smoked or getting your barracks tossed was a badge of honor. It was a matter of it was a matter of pride for soldiers when they share horror story, quote unquote horror stories of basic training as to whose barracks got tossed the worst, who got smoked the hardest in basic training. Those are badges of honor for soldiers. Once they are out of basic training and they're into their units, they swap stories with their squad mates or their platoon mates, and they say like, all of our matches got flipped. You got the other guys, your matches got flipped. Mine got thrown on the fucking roof. We had to actually do a human chain to climb up there and drag these damn things out. The other one's going, well, you think that's bad? Our wall lockers got actually tossed into the lake behind the fucking barracks. We had to go out there and do a human chain to try and drag it out of a 5-foot lake. That's the kind of stuff that soldiers bond over. It's what makes soldiers tougher. It's what allows soldiers, when they go to new units, to bond with their battle buddies. And you're taking this away from them. You're removing something that can form that close battle buddy bond that can be oh so vital when it comes down to a firefight.
Or having their tossed, or having a drill sergeant say something to them. You're handcuffing us behind our backs, and it's not fair. Oh, you get to sit there in your high tower and on all of us doers. All the doers. We're the doers. You're the sayer. You're the officer. You say do this, and guess what we do? We do it. We're the doers. Stop with our job. And I love how the point of contact for this memo is a Command Sergeant Major. Hey there, Command Sergeant Major. You look stupid too. I don't know whose bright idea it was. I don't know. I don't feel like it's the officers. I feel like it's the Sergeant Majors. I feel like it's a private hugging Sergeant Major who says, like they all stereotypically do, "You know, when I was a drill sergeant, I smoked the shit out of people, and I broke all the rules, and I made really good troops. But now that I'm in charge, I'm going to slaughter every single one of you who steps even a little bit out of line. In fact, if you follow the rules, but it's a rule that I don't like, I'm still going to slaughter you." You look like you look dumb. What a freaking dumb memo that made everybody with their name attached to it look dumb. Oh, and guess who agrees with me? SecDef Pete Hegseth. Because just days after this stupid barracks tossing memo came out, guess what happened?
Uh-oh.
They rescinded it. Whoa.
It is rescinded. Go fuck yourself. We're making soldiers, not gender studies majors. Fucking based.
It's almost like it got so much backlash that people above, the idiots who wrote this memo, said, "Hey, what the f*** are you doing? You look absolutely ridiculous. Maybe basic training's supposed to be hard. Maybe leave the doers alone." And now I quote the rescinding memo. Memorandum for record. Subject, policy memorandum number 15. Abuse of trainees, bay tossing is rescinded. You don't say. The 197th Infantry OSIT. Oh, it's f***ing infantry. Oh, An infantry brigade got told, don't flip the barracks, they're infantry, they're too soft. Oh, you're never gonna live it down. Oh, you're never gonna live it down. Engineers coming over here up, and the infantry's in their base like, please don't kick my soft shoes and boots so
Oh, Rich is loving this. Rich is loving this. For those of you that don't know, Rich is a drill for an engineer battalion. No, Aki, he's not mad right now. He's glorifying this. Because, as I said, Rich is a drill for an engineer battalion. And I think when he went into the military, he went in as an engineer, I believe. If I'm remembering what he said before, is he started his military career as an engineer, and as a drill sergeant, he's a drill sergeant in an engineer battalion. So he's basically just shitting all over the infantry, and because he's the engineer.
Cross the bay, please, drill sergeant. Queen of battle is right. The 197th Infantry OSID Policy Memorandum number 15 is rescinded as of 3 August 2025, and thank frickin' God. Now, it's my understanding that word got all the way up to the SecDef and some other people, and, well, they came down. Higher-ups came down on that infantry OSID brigade. And they said, you better rescind that shit because we're not going to be building pansies on the front line. So how about you take that dumbass memorandum, rescind that shit, scrunch it up real nice and tight, and shove it way up your candy ass. But did the Secretary of Defense stop there? No, because when you're clearing house, you might as well keep that momentum going, baby. And he added this additional fantastic internet moment, which is make basic great again. Hegseth looks to return drill sergeant shark attacks to basic training. Posted by the man himself. Oh yeah, coming back up to basic training land, getting ultra motivated. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, he does such a goddamn good Macho Man. Oh, he does such a good Macho Man right there. Damn, EY must be kicking himself for not having Rich on when they were doing the ghost bed, when they were doing the ghost bed ad reads on Unsub, because it was Eli and Brandon, and they were both started doing Macho Man. And I'm sorry, Rich does a better Macho Man than Eli's got to be kicking himself for not having him there for that ad read.
We're that 100 yards of bringing back the shark attack. Oh yeah, shark's coming up and down, looking and smelling blood in the water. Oh yeah. If you think that you can escape a drill sergeant's sense, you will not, because it is always tingling, Private. Oh yeah. Now for some of us, shark attacks haven't exactly left. Somebody kept doing them anyways. Well, at least the good ones did. So finally, I have some good news to bestow on all you weirdos. Basic training's coming back, baby. Hotter and heavier than ever. We're going back to the early 2000s. So shine those boots. Make sure they're dressed underneath those bunks of yours, because I'm going to be low crawling with my red lens underneath your bunks looking for whoever's passed out on fire guard. See you soon, Fort Leonard Wood. Get back here! Oh, I got the mustache still. That's all right. Bringing back the shark attack? How exciting. And you know what else is exciting? Boom! New shirts from me. That's right. You've got your action figure drill sergeant. Comes with knife hand accessories. And barracks party. Speaking of tossing the bay, how about a barracks party? That's what a barracks party can be. Tossing the bay and f***ing it up. Or it's already fucked up and now you've got to unfuck it. Remember the good times and the bad times. Cheapest way to support the channel is leave a comment. What do you think about Shark Attack coming back? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? I'm so fucking excited. Also, what do you think about these memos? Am I right? All right. See you next time, weirdos. That one was good. That one was good.
Okay, chat. We have our mission. We need to. I will. You know what I might try and do? Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. Hang on. I know what I'm gonna do. Give me 2 seconds. Wait for it. Where is it? Ah, here we go. All right. Give me a second. I am going to chat. You have an assignment. Okay? We have an assignment. Give me a second to facilitate. All right, just bear with me. Bear with me. I need to clip something first. All right? Hang on. I gotta get just the right. Nope, hang on. I want to try and get it right where I paused it. Hang on. Wait for it. I've got to slow walk it to get to it. Wait, come on. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. All right. So, let me do a little bit of trimming. Actually, no. No trim. You know what? Fuck it. No trimming needed. I'm going to save it. Chat, I'm going to post in stream chat. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to post into stream chat general a photo. Okay? Where did it save to? Where did it go? Dang it, where'd it go? There it is. In the Discord, I'm going to be posting in stream chat general. All right? I'm posting a photo in there now. All right? It's in there now. Chat, your mission. We are basically going to do a reverse angry meme review. We are doing a reverse angry meme review. I have posted a picture. You guys make up a meme of some sort or do something with that photo. Post it to Twitter or Instagram or whatever. Tag Rich in it and basically tell Rich we expect to see the Bob Ross wig on you for at least one of the shows. At least one of the shows, he needs to be on there in the Bob Ross wig. Use that photo. You do a meme with it. You could just post it. Like, just post the photo and caption it with, "We better see this while on the unsub tour," whatever. This must happen. We have to force him to wear the wig on the unsub tour for just at least one show. At least one show. We need him to wear one of those wigs. Let's make it happen, strays. We can. We are many. We can make this happen. All right. In fact, you know what? I'm going to start off right now. I'm going to start this off right now. Hang on. I will post right now. Wait, there we go. What do you think, chat? Does that look good? Okay, Crops, I think I can speak for all of us when I say you'd better do at least one show wearing the Bob Ross wig after this. That should work. Yeah. Done. There we go. All right. And if you don't have Twitter, if you have Instagram, I do believe he is on Instagram as well, so you can always post it on Instagram. Or You know, heck, if you want to comment on his video, I did link his video in the chats. If you want to just go onto his video and comment saying like, you better wear the Bob Ross wig for one of the unsubscribed shows, just something. Just something.